Guys, let's go over all the games happened on Saturday, November 6th. The first game is the Denver Nuggets beating the Houston Rockets. Jokic had a game-winning block in this one. Jaylen Tate, we could stream him at least. Good, very good field goal, okay rebound, and he brings some defensive stats. Christian Wood, huge game, 17. He grabbed 17 off defensive rebound, a steal and a block. Okay free throw. Christian Wood, it's about his free throws. If he can make some free throws, he's easily top 40 guy, even 30. Daniel Theis played 31 minutes, and he came back from injury right away, played 30 plus minutes, had a decent game, 2 steals, 18 points, while Şengün only getting 14. I don't think I could hold Şengün because we don't know when. It might be 2 months from now. Where he will be freed. Before that, he might just be playing 15, 16 minutes. And this game, no steals. So if he's not giving us anything, I think it's very hard to hold on to him. So I'm okay with dropping him. And I will monitor him. If they have a back-to-back, sure, I would stream him, but I don't think I would roster him full-time. Jaylen Green, 30 minutes. It's one of, at least he's getting the minutes. 9 points and a steal. Bad efficiency everywhere. Is he a great free throw shooter? Maybe he is. If he... Yeah, just another bad game from Jaylen Green. I think so far he had one good game out of 7 or 8. I know he had a 30-point game. It will be hard to hold him, and the thing is, he's already playing 30 minutes. Every once in a while, one game out of 8 games, 9 games, he's gonna score 30 points. But the bigger problem is, can he get steals? Can he get blocks? What about rebounding and the assist? When the shots are not falling. Well, if you're pounding field goal, I could understand you could justify holding on to him. Kevin Porter Jr. The efficiency is probably even worse than Jaylen Green because he's averaging 6 turnovers so far. 3 turnovers here is good. He offers a bit more counting stat. He gives more assists, more steals and blocks than Jaylen Green. So I actually prefer Kevin Porter Jr. over Jaylen Green. But both guys obviously pretty bad in category leagues. Kevin Porter Jr., how can you lead the league in turnovers? I guess he can do it. Kenyon Martin Jr. only 18 minutes. I'm not interested. But if the guy plays 25 to 30, we could look at him. Just in 18 minutes, he had 1 steal and 3 blocks. Eric Gordon, 12 points. That's it. He could be a 3 streamer. That's about it. And I don't know why they're giving a veteran like Eric Gordon such high minutes. Denver Nuggets. Michael Porter Jr. left with some back problems. I believe he missed his first year because of back problems. So we don't know how severe it is. Is he... Yeah, he's not even ranked inside of 200 at the moment. I still think the guy has top 30, 40 upside. But when you go buy low, you obviously don't give equal, try buy low with the top 70 or 80 guy. A Jordan Poole for Michael Porter Jr. That's something I'll be willing to do. But I'd probably just wait to see how bad the back issue is. If it is severe, then forget about it. Aaron Gordon played 28, 2 blocks. Okay, definitely not a must roster, but okay if you have him. Jokic, great game. Nothing else needs to be said. Number 1 ranked player. I think he's still going to be number 1 ranked player by the end of the season. Will Barton is a must roster. If Michael Porter Jr. is out, he's already getting huge minutes anyway, so I don't think he's going to get that big of a bump. If Michael Porter Jr. continues to miss time. But 19 shot attempts, his efficiency is going to be up and down, but 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal and a block. Great stuff. Monty Morris, yeah. PJ Dozier, potentially we could look at him. Or Jeff Green, somebody's going to take his minutes. Jeff Green is not a great fantasy guy. His efficiency is good. Grab a little bit rebounds, but nothing else. PJ Dozier is a guy that could potentially have some upset. I wouldn't go grab him now. I mean, I probably just see what happens next game, who is getting what minutes, and then make a decision next game. The next game is the Utah Jazz losing to the Miami Heat 115-118. The Jazz, Donovan Mitchell came back. He was only out for one game, took 28 field goals. This is more of the Donovan Mitchell. Well, he didn't really struggle that much. The first few games he wasn't really scoring down that much, but now he's fully back up. And he is the 23rd ranked player. It's a bit high in category leagues because his field goal is pretty okay, around 43%. The only thing I would say overperforming, like free throw maybe 89% on 4.5%. That's a bit high, and 1.5 steals. Like if he can sustain, I wouldn't be too surprised if at the end of the season he's averaging 1.4, 1.5. Maybe it's a new year, but if he can be 1.5, he's a top 30 guy. So good game from him, and no rebounds, but the 2 steals is nice. Mike Conley remains to be a huge sell high in my opinion. Like on a per game basis, he could be a top 50, but we know this guy, I think he also started off the season pretty hot, and then as the season goes on, he falls off and he started missing games. I really would try to trade him to get any top 50 guy. I'm really okay trading him for Ja Morant, to be honest. What about Vucevic? Somebody else plus Mike Conley for Vucevic. Let's see what's his ranking. Yeah, 31st ranked player. We gotta try to trade him. Bradley Beal is not playing so well right now, so him for Bradley Beal. Even CJ McCollum, I would do it. Lonzo Ball, yeah, all these guys, I'm willing to trade Mike Conley. He's gonna miss a bunch of games. He's not gonna put up this level of stats. Right, so right now 16 points. That's fine. 1.4 steals is a bit high. But counting stats wise, I think the only thing is 3 threes is also a bit high. Another thing is he's only averaging 1.9 turnovers, and I'm not too high because older guards with injury issues, if they start off the season hot, it's time to get rid of them. Rudy Gilbert did not have the best game versus Bam, and Royce O'Neal had 6 steals. My God, we could definitely stream him for steals. So far this season, he's been getting a lot of steals. Bogdanovich, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And Whiteside, we could always stream him for a rebound and blocks. Okay, let's go to the next game. The Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler, still a good game. No steals. This is the first game he did not have a single steal. He could be averaging close to 2. Right now he's close to 3, so he'll be fine. 6 assists and 3 rebounds. And he's been scoring a lot this season. Averaging 25 points. Over the years, he's usually just a 20-point scorer. This right now he's scoring 27. So maybe this year he could be a 23-point scorer because all the guys are gone, and with Kyle Lowry here, he could focus on more getting buckets. Bam, the assist is back. Just when we thought that the assists are gone. 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 17 points. An okay game from Bam. I mean, Bam hasn't really had that game where I go, wow, this is why we drafted Bam. He hasn't had that game where he had 3 steals and 3 blocks with 12 rebounds and 7 assists. That hasn't happened yet. Still waiting. Duncan Robinson, not interested. He's not in. He only got 5 shots off, all threes, but he could still be a 3-point streamer. Kyle Lowry. This is why we got to buy low on Kyle Lowry. He's not going to score a lot of points. After this game, he's 57th ranked player. 11.3 points. He's going to be too higher. 2.3 threes. He could be, that number could also go up. 5.5 rebound. That sounds about right. 7.5 assists. He could stay at that level. 1.3. Steals, so he could be a very, very easily a top 50 guy. So, if he struggles again, especially with no points, Some owners be like, damn it, no points again. Let me get rid of him. That's why you go in. You trade a top 70 or 80 guy to get him. Tyler Hero. I would look to trade Tyler Hero high in category leagues. Sure, he could average. He's like a worse version of Colin Sexton. Both guys could average over 20 points this season, but he doesn't really give you. Colin Sexton gets you 1 steal. He gets 0 steals. I think 0 blocks, and the rebound is okay. Above average. Colin Sexton will give you 4. He'll get you 5 point something, and some assist. So it's about the efficiency. If the efficiency falls off, he's just a 100 guy. Average 20 points. So I look to people look at him like Tyler Hero. Wow, I look to trade him. Like if I can get him for Evan Mobley, I absolutely would. Or like, Mikal Bridges. Although Mikal Bridges has been getting 0 steals so far this year, but yeah, this is somebody I could use his points total and be like, hey, look at this guy averaging 20 points. I want somebody, does the dirty work. The next game is the Philadelphia Sixers beating the Chicago Bulls 114-105. Joel Embiid finally, this is his first time scoring 30 points this season, maybe the second or third time. I'm not sure. Most of the time, he's been averaging. He hasn't really scored over 20 points. Let me see where he remains to be a buy low. 39th ranked player per game basis. He should be top 10, 15. But the guy's injury issues over the years, so just gotta be a little bit careful. Regardless, good to see him. And 4 for 7 from the free throw line is bad. Paul Reed actually started. 10 points, a steal and a block. I don't think this is be a situation, So let's just leave him on the waiver wire. And Shake Milton, we have to pick him up. 35. I know everybody's out. Like Tobias Harris is also out. Got COVID. And Ben Simmons, we don't know when he's coming back. We have to pick up Shake Milton. Who knows? Because he's playing better, Doc Rivers is going to give him more minutes. 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals and a block. He's doing it. 13 points. Also a sell high. Like if you already have him, you can package him to get somebody else. Tyrese Maxey played 44, man. He's obviously a must roster and a sell high in my opinion. 8 assists, 10 points. Seth Curry did not hit a 3. Just a 3-point streamer. And Furkan Korkmaz, same thing. Could be a 3-point streamer. He hits 9 threes here. Him and Seth Curry, I think, in my opinion, they're just points and 3 streamers. For the Chicago Bulls, Javonte Green, just the 18 minutes. We could leave him out there on the waiver bar everywhere. And Caruso is the pickup. 32 minutes, 4 assists and a steal. I mean, I could see him averaging 1.5 steals and 4 assists. So those numbers are pretty good. And all the Bulls guys, I mean, Vucevic is struggling, remains to be a buy low. To me, he's a top 30 player. Right now, he's in the 50th ranking. So if I trade a Miles Bridges for Vucevic, I will still do the trade. I think Vucevic he's been doing it for years. He's struggling with his shot this game a little bit in the beginning, and the defensive stats will come around. DeMar DeRozan remains to be a huge sell high. He's the 14th ranked player. I look at him as a top 50. So DeRozan plus somebody else for Bradley Beal, for Jason Tatum, for Joel Embiid, like I'll be doing those trades. First rounders that are currently struggling. But who knows? I mean, DeRozan could end up being a top 30, 40 player this season. So it's not that huge of if you trade him for plus somebody else for like a Jason Tatum, I think that will be a fairly fair trade, like 2 top 40 guys for Jason Tatum. Because who knows? Tatum might just be per game basis, might be a top 20 guy. due to his low field goal. Zach LaVine, but yeah, but obviously DeRozan, he won't be a 14th ranked player. I think his floor is top 50, which is, because right now it's just him and Zach LaVine. Offensively, those two guys are taking over. So I was a little bit worried that, hey, he won't be a 20-point scorer like he's going to be. He's going to average 20 points. And he's getting to the free throw line a lot. Also, that's another thing. And all the other huge guards, a lot of them haven't really getting to the free throw line that much. DeRozan is doing it. So, yeah, DeRozan could have a huge year. I think his floor at this moment, in my opinion, is 50. And ceiling might be 30. Vucevic, a buy low. Zach LaVine, 32. Zach LaVine, the scoring is nice, 26 points, and he's shooting 90% from the free throw line. That's a bit high, and he's only averaging 2.8. Historically, I expect him to give us 3.5 turnovers. So his efficiency is overperforming a little bit, 26 points short. But the 0.4 steals and blocks, if he sustains at that level, he's just the top 30. Who knows? Maybe outside of 30. He's got to average at least a steal to be inside of 20. So if he can trade him for, and I still think he should average one steal, but if he can trade a top 15 guy, I would for him. Lonzo Ball, two threes, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, below average for Lonzo. He'll be better. And the minutes is super high, so that's good. That's good to see, as long as they're healthy. And they're fairly young, should be okay. The next game, the Dallas Mavericks, Luka hit a game winner over. Celtics just not good. Tatum finally had that one game that he shot the ball over 50%. He is, he's still the 64th ranked player. As bad as his start has been, shooting 39.5%, and he could average more than 23 points. Could be 25, 2.5 threes. That could go higher. 8 rebound is good. 3.3 assists. That sounds about right. One steal, he could give you more steals and blocks. So to me, per game basis, he should be a top 20 guy. So I would feel very good about Miles Bridges plus somebody for Tatum. Al Horford finally cooled down a bit, just to 26 minutes, and no blocks. After this game, still sell high. He's the 8th ranked player, 7th ranked player. So, get rid of him. Robert Williams, 33 minutes is good, but no blocks. So no blocks, good field goal, 8 rebound. I guess can't complain too much. And Marcus Smart, 6 assists and a steal. Marcus Smart is disappointing. He and Alex Caruso, what's the difference? And he was getting drafted probably in the 80s or 90s, where so just in the draft, I wouldn't draft Marcus Smart, inside of 100 because he just has zero upside. So I just rather take somebody that's could potentially have some upside in that ranking, and the steals are nice, but also high variance. What happened if that year Marcus might just give us 1.2 steals, right? Then he may not even be inside of 100, but you obviously hold he's really good in category leagues. Dennis Schroeder, 20 points, 6 assists, nothing else. He's like a worse version of John Morant. I get way worse, obviously. We could roster him. Josh Richardson getting 30 minutes. Didn't really do much. For the Dallas Mavericks, big news is Kristaps Porzingis is back. I would look to trade him. The first game is obviously nice. I would look to trade him. If the next game he put up 30 points, I would trade him to get the top 30 guy. I just think more likely or not, he's going to miss a bunch of games. Who knows, maybe 50%. So I'll look to trade him to, if I can get the top 20 guy back, because on a per game basis, he might be 20. Hey, if somebody was willing to do it, If not, hey, 25, 30. top 25, top 30 guy, top 35 guy. But I wouldn't trade somebody that's top 50. That's just that's how I would go about dealing with Chris Porzingis. But my main goal is to try to trade him if he goes off. Dorian Finney-Smith, okay game. Dwight Powell, 1 steal, 3 blocks a night, but let's not stream him. Tim Hardaway Jr., we could stream him for points and threes, even though he did nothing this game. And Luka, a great game. Hit the game winner, 5 threes, 33 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. The defensive stats are lacking, and Luka is a guy in category leagues we could look to trade him. Any first rounders that's struggling. Like I would get, even Harden is struggling, I would trade Harden for Luka. Sorry. The next game is the Atlanta Hawks losing to the Phoenix Suns. DeAndre Hunter, he had 2 good games. And then immediately, drop him everywhere. John Collins, he's not going to be that player he was last year before he got hurt. John Collins, 26 and 10. Absolutely nothing else. Just a top 50 guy. Where is his ranks? Oh my God. He's actually ranked 21st. So maybe a sell high. Like, he's not doing anything sexy at the moment. Just the 16 points and 9 rebounds. But his efficiency is really, really good. Like, shooting 60%. I don't think that's sustainable. So maybe a sell high. I don't think he's a top... To me, he's just a top 50 guy. So I'll look to get... Like, Rashawn Holmes is also playing really, really well. But, like, John Collins plus somebody for Bradley Beal, I would do it. Bogdanovic, 18 points, 7 rebounds. I mean, a decent game. Trey, 31 points. That's good. See him go to the free throw line 8 times. That's also great. 13 assists. The problem with Trey is just how many defensive stats and how many threes. He had 4 threes here. So that's good. Cam Radish, after, he was also hot for a couple games. Now we see why he's not a must roster. We could always stream him for some points and assists and points, threes, and a little bit steals. For the Phoenix Suns, Mikal Bridges, 1 steal, 1 block. Come on, just give us 1.5. If he gets average 1.5 steals, he's a top 40 guy. Super, super efficient everywhere. Very, very low turnover. 10 points. I mean, the rest of the lines is very average. Jay Crowder, 15 points, 8 rebounds, a steal and a block. He's a streamer because if we stream him, some nights we'll get this. Some nights we'll get 3 points and nothing else. But 3 threes, 8 rebounds, a steal and a block, 15 points is good for very, very good for a streamer. JaVale McGee started. I think we could continue to stream him if DeAndre Ayton's out for some rebound and blocks. Fred Kaminsky actually got majority of the minutes. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and we could stream both of them. Kaminsky probably a multi-category guy. He give you points, threes, rebound and good field goal and a little bit defensive stats. Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker could be a sell high. Right now he's ranked 34th. If I can trade Devin Booker for Bradley Beal, or Devin Booker plus somebody for Bradley Beal, to me he's just a top 40, 50 guy. I'm not too high on him this season. Even though he's averaging 5 assists right now, so that's great, and 1 steal. So I can't complain too much, But to me, he's maybe top 40, top 50. But a lot of people think of him as a top 25 guy because of the arrival of Chris Paul. He's not getting those. He's not averaging those 6-7 assists. So that hurts his value. Like it drops his value by 10, 20 spots. But this game really good. Great efficiency and 2 steals and a block. Chris Paul, look at that. 16 points, 13 assists. Is he gonna lead the league in assists this year? Great stuff. A steal and a block. I mean, I still think it's a sell high. Older guards. If they have a hot start, I just try to older guys in general, I just would like to trade them. Uh, because usually those guys. Same thing with LeBron this season. Like he's going super hard in the beginning of the season. Like everybody knows they can do it. They can put up big stats in the regular season, but it's for them. It's about playoffs. And Chris Paul, 11th ranked player, any top 15 guy, I would make that trade. He's averaging 12.1 assists right now. Don't think that's gonna. I think 9 assists. That's actually possible, and 2.3 steals is a bit high also. But even when those two categories go off, per game basis, he's the top 20 guy. But I just feel like he's gonna miss some games. That's just me. If you want to hold him, sure. If he fits your team, right? If you really need those assists and steals, and super efficient. Let's go to the next game, last game of the night. The Lakers right now, they're just a mess. LeBron is out. LeBron is a guy that also looked to sell high. Like he could come back, put up 30 points, 10 rebounds. First of all, Russell Westbrook is there, so he's still averaging 7 assists, so that's still better than expected. But 2.3 steals is not gonna, per game basis, maybe a top 20, top 25. In my opinion, for LeBron, also averaging 2.8 threes. So, I mean, all those numbers are not sustainable in my opinion. And I wanted to see him. He's missing a bunch of games. So if he comes back, putting up huge stats, I'll be looking to trade him. Anthony Davis left the game. I think he should be fine. Just some illness. He should be back. I don't know, next game or next game. It's not a bad injury. Can't baseball. Could be a defensive stats and 3-streamer. Didn't do anything this game. DeAndre Jordan. Yeah, across the board, everybody played low minutes because it was a blowout. Russell Westbrook 1 for 13. What was that? Could be a buy low. And 5 for 8 from the free throw line, 6 turnovers. Horrible. But 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. He always does that. What are you gonna do with him? Pounding those 3 categories. That's what you gotta do. And if you're pounding 2 of those 3, I would buy low on Russell Westbrook. Carmelo Anthony could be a streamer. That's it. For points and threes. Right now he's playing really, really well. So I don't hate him to roster him, and he falls out and drop him. For the Portland Trailblazers, look at that. Damien Lillard had 4 points last game. This game, great. 25 points, 6 assists, 6 threes, 2 steals. If you're concerned about Damien Lillard, I think after this game, you could try to sell him. You could try to sell him. Like if you can get him for Bradley Beal, at this point I'll probably do it. Just a lot of uncertainty with this guy. Like, he shot the ball pretty well, but what's going on with him lately? He said he's not hurt. We don't know. Maybe a sell high. It could really go both ways. Could be a sell high or buy low. So that's not really saying much. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to give any opinions on Damian Lillard at the moment because I don't know what's going on. If he's fully healthy, I'm fairly certain he'll be top 10 player. He played this game well, but the next game he could very well just have 6 points and go 2 for 13 from the field. And this Lakers team defensively, I don't know how good they are on the perimeter especially. So yeah, CJ struggled. Should have sold him high, but he's still a top 20 guy. Nurkic, look at that, 17 rebounds, 3 steals and a block, 15 points. Just in 21 minutes, man, the guy is good. That's why he gets a lot of hype because he has the potential to do these type of things. It's just he doesn't do this very often. Robert Covington, the shots have started falling for threes. 2 steals and a block, that's great, but can he continue doing that? So far, he's been pretty bad. And Norman Powell, a must roster. Could be a sell high if he scored 30 points. Like he has the ability to do that every once in a while. But he might end up being a top 50, 60 guy in category leagues. And that's it. That's it, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.